in 1997. And first he joined Department of Geology as a lecturer in 1996 at AMU Aligarh. Later he joined civil engineering in 1997 as a lecturer, then became reader and associate professor and professor also in 2012. Masroor Saab developed various courses, I will say, and course lab, and started a new course which is known as geoengineering and rocks and rock Moses. And rock engineering apart from the basic course of engineering geology. Participant Masroor sir have delivered various lectures on disaster management, environmental stresses, and is trained at various forums of, especially at UDC AMU Aligarh, HRDC AMU Aligarh. He played a key role in starting MTech course in geotechnical engineering from session 2016 to 17. सर का जो रिसर्च ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है एरिया है वो है इंजीनियरिंग जियोलॉजी, जियो इंजीनियरिंग, रॉक मैकेनिक्स, अर्थक्वेक इंजीनियरिंग, sedimentology, disaster management, and also part of the group of overseeing the Center for Studies of Disaster Management in Department of Civil Engineering. He is the department coordinator of BTech, and Masroor sir completed a research project worth of rupees 5.88 lakhs, awarded DSC under Young Scientist Scheme in 2003. And he also worked on the program of officer at NSS. Sir has published 9 modules, fundamentals of engineering geology for UDC MHRD, Government of India, E-Pathshala for paper 10, and with 9 videos. Each module can found in Vidya Mitra on YouTube. Professor Masroor sir published 16 international and 29 research papers in various national journals of repute. Apart from this, 32 papers were published in international and national conferences. The important journals were the Building Material Act, Geomaterial, Rock, and Natural Resource Researches. Sir he was the coordinator of Atal FDF on underground space utilization from January 18 to January 2021 by All India Council of Technical Education. His citation is scholar, I think, more than 418. Participant, these are the brief introduction of today's our learned speaker, Professor Masroor Saab. As I usually tell you that if you really wish to know much more about our speakers and resource person, you can visit on the website of Zakir Hussain College of Engineering, AMU Aligarh, and you will find the detailed CV. With these words, I would like to invite our today's team speaker, Masroor sir, to speak on the topic on climate change. Sir, now mic over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Aftab Saab, for introducing me.
सॉरी सर, आज थोड़ा डिपार्टमेंट में हूँ मैं, तो नेटवर्क इश्यू था, तो इसलिए मुझे मोबाइल से ही जुड़ना पड़ा।
मैं भी नेट मोबाइल से ही जुड़ रहा हूँ। स्क्रीन प्ले नहीं हो पा रहा है, देयर इज सम इशू।
नहीं, स्क्रीन तो शेयर हो रहा है सर।
हाँ, नहीं हो रहा है, बट इट इज फ्रॉम मोबाइल।
ओके,
तो वेलकम
participants. Our participants will cooperate with us, sir.
The participants are far and wide area from India. I have seen the list. There are large numbers from Bardhaman. Perhaps maximum participants are from Bardhaman. This is the new way that we are joining online for your this what you call refresher course and orientation program. We as a teacher, we are the first learner.
सर एको हो रही है आवाज आपकी।
हो रही है, just I am just observing. I will try to.
I think sir will adjust very soon.
सर क्या 2 मोबाइल से जुड़े हुए हैं आप?
No, single mobile. Now I think the problem should be resolved.
सर एक साउंड बिल्कुल जीरो कर दीजिए, एक साउंड बिल्कुल जीरो कर दीजिए।
Now is it clear?
जी सर, अब बहुत अच्छा हो गया।
Okay.
सर मजहर साहब हमारे टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट है सर।
Yes, yes.
हर वक्त ये मतलब इस मामले में माशाल्लाह।
जी।
मैं भी ये सोचता था कि मैं क्या सजेस्ट करूं सर, आप लोग तो खुद ही, लेकिन मजहर साहब ने बता दिया सर। थैंक यू मजहर साहब।
So
My pleasure, sir.
what I was saying is that we all are teachers, and at the same time we are the first learners. We keep on learning all through our life and keep on transforming whatever we learn to our students. I am basically a geologist, but I am teaching in Department of Civil Engineering. And the reason is that civil engineers, they work sometimes in rocky areas. For example, for construction of dams, for construction of tunnels, etc. So they need to have basic understanding of geology. And for them, there is a course at undergraduate level that is called as engineering geology. So actually, I am teaching engineering geology in Department of Civil Engineering. The civil engineering, you know, is all about construction. But at the same time, all construction starts with the destruction. So this is the issue in which we are into. That is, whatever we are doing, we are trying to harm our nature. And the harm to the nature has become so much that nowadays we are feeling issue of different climate related problems, especially the global warming. You are all from different places in India. All of you must have felt this summer that this summer was somewhat extra hot. This summer was somewhat extra hot. Every one of us has felt the pinch of heat. And if you have tried to know the temperatures, this time the temperature has gone to maximum at places 45 degree and 46 degree. So we are into a problem of climate change. And climate change can be of different type, but as of now, we are in problem of global warming. We as a teacher from different fields and from different subject areas, we all have to understand that what all these problems are, because basically we are all human beings and Earth is the only home for us where we can live. So the new education policy 2020 has made a part of understanding of environmental issues. The new education policy has focused on multidisciplinary and holistic education across the sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, and sports for the multidisciplinary world in order to ensure the unity and integrity of all knowledge. In this, it was mandated that at different levels, we should teach students about environment as well as about disasters and disaster management. So at undergraduate level, one course on environmental science has been made mandatory. And similarly, on postgraduate level, a course on disaster management has been made compulsory. Now, this issue of climate change Do we have any idea of this climate change, or it is just a news, or it is a fact? That is the thing. It is only a news, or is it a fact? So if you see, I am presenting you this talk by taking lot of material from the newspapers, because we usually read newspapers on daily basis, and if we just read newspapers, we will come to know about the issue of climate change and global warming and disaster management just by understanding the things which is happening all over the world. Now, for example, there was a news item, extreme weather in July 2023 news item, virtually impossible without climate change. Then in the other news, the headline is Europe heat is real, not Renoir. Just 50 years back, the Europeans used to enjoy extra heating. They used to enjoy heating because their weather, which is harshly cold, was not a good weather to live in. So the painters of Europe, maybe from France, maybe from England, maybe from Italy, they have always tried to paint the sunshine, because sunshine was something a luxury for them. Because all through the years, they had either snowfall or rain. So actually they enjoyed the heat, but as of today, the heat in even European countries has become so much that people are not relishing that heat, and in fact they are moving to see beaches and fountains in their city to ward off the heat which they are facing. Now, for the very first time in 1896, Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius predicted global warming due to coal burning and release of carbon dioxide. He was the first to say that the new finding of coal in Europe, which led to the industrialization, is actually adding a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and this will make the atmosphere warm because carbon dioxide traps heat. But when he wrote research paper in 1896, he also suggested that to check the cold of Europe, if we burn all the shallow coal deposits, we will heat up our atmosphere due to carbon dioxide emission, and we will be in better position as compared to present cold temperature. So just see, the first time when the issue of carbon dioxide emission and heating of atmosphere came, it was led to the thinking that we can warm the globe for the benefit of Europeans. Later on, there was a book written by Rachel Carson, which came in 1966. The title of the book is Silent Spring. This book, written by a marine biologist, a lady marine biologist, she has researched and studied, and then she has written that the use of some chemicals, they are actually altering our ecology and weather. So this was the second important contribution as far as climate change is concerned. In the United States National Academy of Science has indicated through its research in 1978 that global warming is taking place. Then on February 2007, United Nations has accepted this and has made an organization which is known as IPCC, that is International Protocol for Climate Change, to see and suggest the measure to check this climate change way back in 2007. Another issue which came into being was that this change is strongly influenced by anthropogenic activity. This change is actually caused by the wrongdoings of humanity for the cause of its development. So this was another important point. But ultimately, even if we don't blame ourselves, then too, the global warming is taking place. As such, there is no denial today that there is no global warming on the Earth. Now, Earth, which is the only living planet, there is no other planet on which you can find or one can find life, because the weather, the climate, the temperatures, they are not conducive on any other planet. For example, Mercury, being close to the sun, has temperatures more than 300 degrees centigrade, average temperature. Venus has average temperature of 480 degrees centigrade. Earth is at the third place from the sun, and the distance is so that the temperatures on the Earth is from -70 to +60 degrees centigrade, which has made the life conducive. But once you go beyond Earth to the fourth planet, that is Mars, the average temperatures there becomes -200 degrees centigrade. So there is no life on any other planet, and there is no remote possibility of having life on these planets. Though scientists, they are trying to establish some place to live on Moon and Mars, but this is only a very, very remote possibility, that too for 1 or 2 or 3 persons for few weeks. You must be knowing that Sunita Williams, with another astronomer, has gone to space for 8 days, but now she has not been able to return because of some problem in their space station and the capsule in which they are living. Now they can return only in the next year, 2025. Now they cannot return unless and until some other rocket goes to that place and help them out. So it's not easy, though we are talking of living on Moon and Mars. The overall temperature range of -70 to 60 degrees centigrade makes possible that water and oxygen can be found on this planet, and water can be found in 3 different states. That is something very important, that water can be found in 3 different states, that is solid, liquid, and gas. That is something very important, which is actually not possible on any other planet. So the Earth is the heaven for all life forms, for human beings, for animal beings, as well as for other plants. All biological things can live on this Earth because of the temperature range, because of the presence of water, and because of presence of oxygen in its atmosphere. Now, if you see the Earth is made up of different spheres. The topmost sphere is atmosphere. Then we have biosphere. In atmosphere, we have all the gases dominated by nitrogen, almost 78%, oxygen 21%, and then in 1% we have all other gases, including carbon dioxide, which is only and only 0.0039%. 0.0039%. We have hydrosphere, which is having all the waters, maybe in the form of ice, maybe in the form of liquid, maybe in the form of water vapor. Then we have a ground, which is called as lithosphere. Litho means rock. We are living on a sphere of rock, which also has a little soil, a very thin layer of soil, but not everywhere. There are many places where we are living directly on the rock. So lithosphere is the sphere of rock, almost 150 to 200 kilometer thick. Then below that we have asthenosphere, which is somewhat plastic or ductile. This is almost 800 kilometers. The asthenosphere creates earthquake and volcanism. And then what left is lower mantle, outer core, and inner core. They are all can be clubbed together and called as barysphere. These all spheres, they interact with each other. There is a transfer of material from one sphere to another, to and fro, and that creates environment for all life forms on this earth. What we have done, we have created one more sphere. We have created one more sphere, that is built sphere, or you can call, as of today, it is a sphere of technology. This built sphere and technosphere has been created at the expense of atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. And this built sphere is subjected to forces which are created in asthenosphere and barysphere. What we have done, the two essential fluids which are found in hydrosphere and atmosphere, we have made these two essential fluid and its sphere a global garbage bin by polluting it to a great extent. And this has resulted into some sort of change in our weather and climate system. Now, climate change is warming, it can be cooling, it can be precipitation, excessive precipitation, it can be change in wind direction, but at the scale of hundreds of years, at the scale of 50 to 100 years, not at the scale of few months. We do have summer, winter, spring, and fall. This is not climate change. It is simply change in the weather system because of Earth's rotation around the sun. Within a particular season, if within a winter the winter is warm, if within a winter you have excessive rain, if within a summer you have excessive heat or cold, that is called as climate change. Though Earth, which is almost 4,550 million years old, in its history, the climate has changed naturally many times. It has changed naturally for many times, but at the scale of millions of years. 1 million year is equal to 10 lakh years. So in geological time is past, in the past geological time, the climate change has taken some 10 to 25 to 50 million years. But today what we are doing, we are changing the climate at a scale of 50 to 100 to 200 years. We have direct record of temperatures, average temperatures of last 150 years, which has shown that the average temperature of Earth is rising, though at some times the cooling event have also taken place. The cooling event in the history of the Earth has also taken place. It is not always global warming. global cooling also has taken place, but a very, very short time interval. But for a very, very short time interval. That we will see. Now, if you see the newspaper, Roger Federer has lost a match to uh, John Millman, and he complained about the heat in the arena. The table tennis ground, he said, was having some extra heat. He was not very used to play in that extra heat, and that extra heat was because of global warming. It was slightly more than what is expected at that time at that place. Similarly, in Australia, people have made omelette in the heat. The temperature was more than 44 degrees centigrade, and people have tried to make omelette in the open ground because of heat. This time in India also, this has happened. Someone at some place in India has also tried this. In America in 2019, the temperature has gone down to minus 39 degrees centigrade. If you can see the jeans pant, these jeans pants, they are standing without men or women inside it because they have got frozen. Pants freeze in St. Anthony Village, Minnesota. And at the same time, in Australia, there was excessive heat. This is actually causing a lot of issues in different parts of the world. This picture which you are seeing at the top is the fire which is raging in California from last 10 years. The fire could not be extinguished by US, a big power in the world, but they have not been able to completely douse the fire in Californian forest, and more than 200 people have died. And the reason why they could not douse the forest is the extra temperature, which is not allowing the fire to get extinguished. Similar problem has taken place in Hawaii Island last year, where there was a huge forest fire and more than 100 people have died because of this forest fire. Now the issue is that this climate change is natural or human induced, that is anthropogenic. Scientists who are working in weather system and climatologists and meteorologists, they are measuring temperatures from last 150, 200 years directly using thermometers, sensitive thermometers. They are using satellites to get the temperature of the earth of different place every 14 days to daily basis, on daily basis. Now our satellites, they are almost 50-year-olds. So they have direct independent data from satellite for average temperature of different place of the world. All these suggest that there are different events of global warming. There are different stages of global warming in last 200 or 400 years of the Earth history. And most of the global warming has been ascribed to the greenhouse gases. Now, what are the greenhouse gases? Any gas which is present in our atmosphere and has two into it. For example, CO2. For example, H2O. For example, CH4. For example, SO2. For example, NO2. All these are gases which are greenhouse gases. Greenhouse are made to grow plants. They are mostly made by botanists or agriculturists to grow their plants, to grow the seedlings, to grow the small plants by what you call using grafting. So what they do, they make greenhouse usually made up of glass in olden days, but today they are using plastic what they do, they make a house, and in that house, the carbon dioxide coming out of the plants, they are trapped, and that trapped carbon dioxide increases the temperature inside that house, and that increased temperature are enjoyed by plants and they grow. Now we have envelope of atmospheric gases which are also acting as a greenhouse. They trap heat. The heat which comes from the sun falls on the ground. It comes as a short wave radiation. After falling on the ground, it becomes long wave radiation, and the long wave radiation is trapped by greenhouse gases. They do not allow all the reflected heat from the Earth's surface to go back into the space. So that results into heating of our atmosphere. So if you can see this graph, three different events of heating, marked heating has taken place from 1860 to 1880, when the temperature has risen by 1.01 degree. Then from 1910 to 1940, when the temperature has gone up by 1.56 degree. And then from 1975 to 2005, when the temperature has gone up to 1.9 degrees centigrade on an average per century. Though there have been some event of global cooling also, the green line, if you can see, this was an event of global cooling from 1880 to almost 1900. Then there was one more event when the global rise was very slight. The global temperature rise was very slight, somewhere from 1945 to 1965. Later on, after 2005, the temperature kept on rising, and it is still rising. I will show you one more graph afterwards where you have. So ultimately, what are the natural factors which can control our temperature? The issue is, who is increasing the global temperature? Nature. It can be nature. It can be human beings. So let's see that where you can ascribe the global warming to the nature and where you can ascribe the global warming to the humanity. Now we receive heat from solar insolation. The insolation, which comes as a short wave radiation, falls on the ground, goes back as a long wave radiation. It is trapped by greenhouse gases such as H2O, carbon dioxide, CH4, NO, and SO, that is sulfur dioxide. The solar insolation remains same except some sunspot activity which appear at a cycle of 11 years, which may bring slightly higher heating. Sometimes our sun surface, which has average temperature of 6000 degrees centigrade, has some activity which results into more heat generation from the sun. That is called as sunspot activity, which do take place every 11 years. So whenever sunspot activity will take place, there will be extra warming on the surface beside other reasons for the warming. The absence of oxygen, absence of greenhouse gases, the greenhouse gases which are present in our atmosphere, they all have came out from the Earth's interior through the process of volcanism. The gases which we have in our atmosphere, they have come out of Earth's interior. That is called as mantle degassing, and they are trapped by Earth due to Earth's gravitational force. So the amount of greenhouse gas can increase and decrease depending upon the volcanism also. But greenhouse gases, to which we are actually what you call indicting for global warming, they are very important for us. If we remove all the greenhouse gases, then what will happen? Our temperature will go down to minus 18 degrees centigrade. The average temperature will go down to minus 18 degrees centigrade, means if you take the average temperature 15 degrees centigrade, it will become 33 degrees centigrade lower to minus 18 degrees centigrade. So greenhouse gases are important, but in greenhouse gases, some of the gases are very notorious as far as increase in overall temperature is concerned. For example, carbon dioxide, the Venus planet, which is second from Sun, has 97% carbon dioxide and their average temperature is 480 degrees centigrade. That means they have very, very, very strong greenhouse gas effect, and solely it is because of carbon dioxide. So this is the pictorial representation, how sunlight comes and then goes back, and how at the lower part of our atmosphere, which has carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, water vapor and methane, traps heat, and which we feel are our extra heat. Now, the weather and climate changes from place to place, depending upon the latitudes at which we are living. For example, at equator, the sunshine falls directly, so the equators are the warmest place to live. Poles where sunlight does not reach completely, the heat does not reach completely, so we have ice. So people living in the polar regions, they will be feeling cold, mostly in minus degrees. Now, if we change the tilt of Earth, if we change the tilt of Earth, the equator will change, the latitudes will change, all latitudes will change, the tropic of Capricorn will change, the temperate latitudes, everything will change. If you change the axis of the Earth on which it is rotating and bringing day and night to us. So what has happened in two of the major earthquakes which have struck the Earth in 2004, that is Indonesian earthquake, which led to the development of tsunami, and 2011 Japanese earthquake, which again led to the development of huge tsunamic waves in the sea, they have actually disturbed the Earth's rotation because of change in immense volume of water and its transfer from one place to another place. So this may also have an effect on our global temperatures. Then, as I told you, that solar spot activity. Whenever there is a solar spot activity, there will be extra heat generated at the sun. If the extra heat generated at the sun reaches the Earth, then there will be extra heating of the Earth also. I am showing you a picture of 2022 when solar spot activity took place. This is a picture of 2018 when the 2007 when 2017 when the solar spot activity took place, and even this year also some solar spot activity and solar flares have been created over the sun. Whenever solar flares are and solar storms are created, our magnetic field over the Earth, which is called as magnetosphere, also gets disturbed, and that leads to the disturbance in communication, electronic communication, satellite communication, internet communication. All will be damaged whenever we have solar flares. Now, as I told you that greenhouse gases are naturally produced by Earth's volcanism, but with time, when the Earth was in the past, it was having much higher temperature, much higher volcanism, but with time, the Earth is losing its heat. So the number of volcanoes and event of volcanisms are reducing. That means the supply of greenhouse gases from natural source is also reducing. So we cannot blame the natural process of increasing the greenhouse gases. Now what happens? The greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, is again dissolved in ocean water to form a rock called as limestone. So oceans, they are taken as a sink. They are taken as a sink for absorbance of carbon dioxide. But because we have polluted our oceans also by putting polluted water into the sea by the rivers, what has happened that ocean water has become slightly acidic. And because of slightly acidic nature of ocean water, the carbon dioxide absorbance has also got reduced. So if from atmosphere carbon dioxide is less absorbed by the sea, then what happens that carbon dioxide is left into the atmosphere. The amount of carbon dioxide expected to be absorbed in the ocean is not happening. So that results into more carbon dioxide available in our atmosphere. And when more carbon dioxide available in our atmosphere means more greenhouse gas trapment of heat and more temperature. Now, if you can see this graph shows that with increasing carbon dioxide concentration in the sea, the sea temperature, the sea water surface temperature is also increasing. It is also increasing. So this is another problem, that is of ocean acidification. Now, why do we fear? Why do we fear ocean warming and global warming? Because we think that if global warming persists, all the ice which we have, it will get melted. And if the ice gets melted, the water release will result into rise of sea level. And when there will be sea level rise, the coastal areas will be subjected to sea wave erosion. The coastal erosion will take place. So this is the issue. But even if global warming does not melt the ice, even if global warming does not melt the ice, the sea level will still rise because of warming of the ocean water. When we warm water in utensils, the volume of water increases. So even if there is no ice melting, the sea level can rise simply because of warming. There are different islands in the Pacific Ocean which have got drowned underwater because of sea level rise of 3 meters, which has already happened. So this is the issue. Now you must be seeing a video. What this video tries to tell? Can anybody answer? Can anybody answer in voice what this video is all about? What this video is all about? Can anybody answer? Can anybody answer what this video is all about?
Sir, once upon a time, the earth was a huge mass, and after the passing of time, it is split into different continents. I forget the name, sir,
Yes.
when these all the continents were
Very good.
merged
Very good.
with each other. So I forget that name, that term.
Actually,
So this is all about this,
yes.
that after millions and millions years ago of passing of the time, that these continents are separated with each other.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. This is a 15-second video is actually telling us about what has happened in last 65 million years. This is a theory called as theory of continental drift. Theory of continental drift.
Yes, sir.
This theory was given by Alfred Wegener from Germany, but later on his theory was rejected. But again his theory was rejected in 1915, 1915. But again in 1960, it was accepted as another theory called as the theory of plate tectonics. Plate tectonics, the theory of plate tectonics, which says that continents, they are moving with respect to each other. Even today, each continent is moving with respect to each other. This was the last big event which took 65 million years. You can see India moving very fast from southern latitude to become in northern latitude. Today, we have been able to measure the movement of each and every land mass with respect to other land mass at the rate of 5 to 10 centimeter a year. This is called as tectonic shift, or this is called as theory of plate tectonics. So for example, if a land mass moving at the rate of 10 to 15 centimeter per year, so it will be changing its latitude. It will be changing its latitude in 100 years. It will move almost 20 into 100. 20 centimeter into 100 is almost 2 meters. So this movement can also change. This movement can also change the temperatures. The rate of movement, which I have told you is almost 15 to 20 centimeter per year, is the same rate with which our nails are growing. So you can see I have casted vote in 2017 in one of the local election, and see how my nail is growing and how this ink is moving up. So with this rate, all our planets, all our land mass and ocean mass also, they are moving. Now we are using GPS and satellite to monitor their movement, and these movements cause earthquakes and volcanism. These movements, they actually cause earthquake and volcanism. Apart from direct data using thermometer for measuring the temperature, some indirect data was also collected, which is called as proxy or historical data. This data was collected from the diaries of captain of ships, farmers' diaries, travelers' diaries, and old newspaper and other documentation. The record is available so that people have been able to record or get the temperature record from 1370 to 1879. Scientists have used historical grape harvest dates to reconstruct summer temperatures from April to September at Paris from 1372 to 1879. So this is a proxy data, historical data. This has also been used to understand the global warming. Another proxy data is presence of huge rock mass, huge rock boulders at place where there is no similar rock available. If you can see the huge white colored rock present at this place, you can see the size and judge the size by seeing the size of men and women standing close by. How come this rock has come here? There were no JCBs, there were no cranes before. How come these rocks are here? So these rocks, they actually are brought here by glaciers. That means the presence of this rock is called as erratic, means that glacier once present was once present at this very place. So wherever we find erratic, that means the glacier was present. Today there is no glacier. Why there is no glacier? Because the glaciers have receded. Why glaciers have receded? Because of global warming. You must be knowing that there was a ice age. There are movies on ice age. There are five volumes of movie that is Ice Age. All of you must see that movie, Ice Age. This is a very good movie and you will enjoy this movie, Ice Age. If you can see here, again, I have photographed myself erratic. You can see a shop, tea shop. This is Sonmarg. This is Sonmarg. And you can also see a valley in the background which is U-shaped. Any U-shaped valley means it is created by glaciers. And you can see a lot of glaciers there. But this rock which is present here in the Sonmarg is not present in nearby area. It is almost 20 kilometers away that this rock is present. It is not present in the surrounding area. I have checked it myself. It has come in the past by, it has brought by a huge glacier which must have come up to this place. Similarly, somebody has photographed a mountain or hilltop in 1912, 1970, 2000, 2006. You can see how ice is reducing. This is again an indirect evidence of global warming. Scientists have worked by chemical analysis. They have studied the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotopes from what is called as stalactite and stalagmites, which are rocks which are precipitating from water and hanging from the caves of the roof caves. And some are growing from the floor of the caves. By evaporation of water and precipitation of calcium carbonate, they are called as stalactites if they are hanging from the top, and stalagmites if they are growing from the bottom. The study of stalactites and stalagmites have also shown that the average global temperature is increasing. Then again, we have another very important indirect evidence that has come from the ice cores which have been taken out from different places in the world, especially from the Antarctica, where the weather is least affected and climate is remaining the same from last lakhs of years. From there, the ice core was taken out by drilling, and the bubbles, gas bubbles which are trapped in ice, they have been taken out because those gas bubbles are having gases of their time when this gas bubble was formed or when this ice was precipitating, and the analysis of these gases were carried out, and it has been found that all greenhouse gases are increasing in percentage, especially carbon dioxide. They have now record of 1 lakh years. They can get record of 4,20,000 years by analysis of ice cores. And what they have found using oxygen and hydrogen isotopes, that up to 1850 the temperature has remained same. From 1850 it has increased. Then again 1900, around 1900 it has a drop. Then again from 1900 to 1950 it has increased. Again from 1950 to 2000 again there was some drop, and again increase in the temperature. Scientists have also studied the tree rings. If you cut a tree, you will find rings. 2 rings, one light and one dark, represents 1 year. So you can count the number of rings, divide by 2, you will work out the age of the tree. The dark ring represents winter and the light ring represents summer. Summer rings are always thicker than the darker winter rings. If we take out oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen isotopes and we study, what we have found that the temperature is rising again from 1850 onward, though there was a little ice age from 18 to 1825. And all this has been linked to variation in overall percentage of carbon dioxide and CH4. Scientists have plotted data of last 800 years and have shown that how carbon dioxide is increasing and decreasing, increasing and decreasing in a secular pattern till last 50 years. But after last 50 years, they have increased suddenly and have taken a almost vertical jump. The carbon dioxide has increased from 280 to 550 per part million into our atmosphere. That means we are adding 26 to 50 billion tons of carbon dioxide everywhere, and from how and where? Through our industrial activity, through our automobile exhaust. This is the latest which we have found, that the temperature has gone up by 1.5 degrees centigrade with increase in nitrogen oxide, with increase in CH4, with increase in carbon dioxide. This is the latest data which I have got from Times of India, and it shows the data up to 2022. A very famous research paper was published by Mac Critic from Canada. This paper is famous as a hockey stick paper. This paper is famous as a hockey stick paper because if you see the temperature, average temperature by clubbing all different method instrumentation data, reconstruction from proxy data, and all other data from different sources, the overall temperature is going down up to 1850, and then from 1850 there is a rise again. Somewhere around 1950 there is a low, and then again it is going up just like a hockey stick. So the issue is that why it is happening. Why it is happening? Is it nature or is it unnatural? Is it anthropogenic or is it natural? So this is not the handiwork of sun which is leading to the global warming. It is we, the human beings, who are actually burning the earth by global warming. Why do we fear global warming? There are some obvious reasons and there are some less obvious reasons, but both are important. Melting of ice, more runoff of fresh water, loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather, sea level rise, all these are obvious ones. Increase in agriculture produce may be there because of global warming. Then less obvious one is local to regional migration of human beings and animals, increase in certain disease, change in the sea current pattern that is called as thermohaline conveyor, change in agriculture pattern, crop failure because of extreme weather conditions, ecological imbalances, and crop losses due to the extreme weather condition. All these are something which is to be expected because of global warming. Climate history wants us to limit warming to 2 degrees centigrade. Humans may not be able to adopt beyond that. Humans may not be able to adopt beyond that. This is a newspaper cutting from July 7, 2024. What happens because of global warming? The whole weather system is changing. We have extreme weather conditions. We have extreme climatic events which lead to lot of cyclones, which lead to excessive rain, which lead to lot of landslides, which lead to excessive heating. The air conditions start failing. See the news, heat turns Shanghai streets into giant slumber party. The ACs have stopped working when the temperature gone beyond 45 degrees centigrade. So ultimately people had to leave their flats and houses and they have came out into the park to spend their night. So a lot of issues are there because of extreme weather. Thodi barish, badi musibat. This is an order of the day in almost all the urban centers. This is the order of the day in almost all the urban centers, and lot of flooding and landsliding event in the hilly areas and hilly tracts. Even the Dubai could not be left from this excessive rain which has taken place in the month of April. In the month of April, when all their roads and streets they were drowned in water. So this is termed as biblical flood. It was not expected, it was not known, but it was a biblical flood, just like a flood of Noah, which has happened in the religious history which we have. At the same time, if you have observed, lot of fire which has taken place in Uttarakhand. We could not douse this fire. Why? Because we don't have that mechanism. We are relying only on rain, and the rain was delayed, and the fire raged for a much longer duration as compared to the previous years. But at the same time, when there was a fire raging in Uttarakhand, there was 2 hour torrential rain in Telangana, which led to the death of 20 lives. So all these issues are very burning issues. What can be done? What we should do? What governments are doing? What scientists are doing? They have identified the problem, and they have kept on meeting every year at one place in the world or other place in the world since 1972 to 1987. I have not listed each, but after 1987, I have listed the very famous 1997 Kyoto Protocol was signed for checking the emission of carbon dioxide, but still almost 27 years have passed. We have not been able to check the carbon dioxide emission. So, a lot of international conferences are taking place all over the world every year, except 2020, when there was COVID and that conference could not happen. Then again in 21, this conference could not happen. In 21, it has happened perhaps. Last it was happened in 2019, and then 20 and 21 there was no conference. This is known as COP, Conference of Parties. Almost 94 countries, they are the signatories of this Conference of Parties. They meet every year and discuss that what to do, but they only discuss, they are deafening noises but muted outcomes. They are deafening noises and muted outcomes. We need to replace all this gobbledygook with mumbo jumbo. We prepare very good documents, very beautiful documents, but the net result is zero. COP28 has just happened in United Arab Emirates in November 23, and in 24 we had that flood. What they have decided that we are now going to start beginning of the end of fossil fuel era by laying the ground for swift, just and equitable transition. But still it is not happening. Another is going to happen in Azerbaijan in November 2024, and so on and so forth. Conferences are happening, but the results are not coming because no country, especially the third world country, especially the so-called developing countries, they are not ready to cut their carbon dioxide emission. What they are saying, especially India and China, the most populated countries, that they will start thinking of cutting carbon dioxide emission after 2030 or 2035. China says 2030, it will be peaking year of carbon dioxide emission, and India says 15 years after 2020. 15 years after 2020. India won't commit to the net zero 2050 goal at COP26. So we are not still ready. Why we are not ready? If we are not ready, then what will happen? Today there is a fight of keeping the temperature below 1.5 degrees centigrade and not allowing the temperature to go up to 2 degrees centigrade. This is the issue. The fight is in between. Global warming is there. It will remain there. It is not going to revert back in near future. But let's fight. Let's control the rise in temperature up to 1.5 degree, not the 2 degree. Why? Because if you go to 2 degree, the extinction of plants and animals will increase manifold. 3 times increase will be there, 2 to 3 times increase will be there. the coral reef will be lost much faster at 2 degrees centigrade as compared to 1.5 degrees centigrade. Sea level rise will affect human population up to 32 to 80 million people. Crop failure will increase. Ice caps will be reduced at a very fast rate. Extreme heat condition will come on from 14% of the area of the population today, which is suffering from extreme heat. It will become 37% if the temperature goes up to 2 degrees centigrade. The water scarcity, the fresh water scarcity, the clean water scarcity for drinking as well as for irrigation will also be a big problem. Now, climate change is there. Of course, climate change is there. But what is the bigger issue for us? Anthropogenic causes of climate change are anthropogenic causes of environmental disorders. I am calling the water pollution, I am calling the atmospheric pollution, I am calling the solid waste production as an environmental disorder. What we are seeing around us, immediately around us, I am calling it environmental disorder. This environmental disorder, because of air pollution, because of water pollution, because of presence of solid waste everywhere, because of vehicular exhaust, everything, almost 100 people are dying every 30 minutes. 100 people dying every 30 minutes. Lakhs of people in the world are threatened by new diseases like Zika, Ebola, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, corona, etc. It is all increasing with global warming. According to the global burden of diseases in India in 2015, 138 people per lakh people died in India due to the pollution. And this year on 21st June, there was a news item in Urdu newspaper that because of air pollution, every day 464 children are dying. In 2021, almost 1,69,400 people have died. Children have died because children's body are not able to withstand the pollution level which we have around us. Death by breath. We are dying by breathing, especially in the NCR region, National Capital Region. May also this condition be around Bangalore, around Chennai, around Bombay, around Ahmedabad. All big metropolitan cities have very highly polluted air, and we are dying by breathing. We are dying by breathing. There was a time in Delhi, somewhere in 2003 to 2007, when the pollution level has gone down because of change from fuel, petroleum and diesel to the CNG, compressed natural gas. That has brought in little what you call relief. But again, that little relief due to the use of CNG could not compete with the pollution caused by number of vehicles which have increased many folds. The number of vehicles have increased so fast because of loan, because of economics of loan economics. You must be knowing that every other person is diabetic. Every third person is diabetic in India. It is known as capital of diabetes. In 2000, from 2013 to 2016, the number of drugs of diabetes sale have increased. In top 10 selling drugs, 5 drugs were from diabetes. Why? Why in India we have so much number of patients of diabetes? Then came the COVID. because of COVID, the medicines which are taken to check the viral infection, they have defeated all other medicines. But again, in April 2023, diabetic medicines have taken back their position. They have taken back their position. Why it is so? Why it is so? Why every one of us is diabetic? What can cause diabetes? Maybe many different reasons, but one reason one cannot check is the bad air, that is polluted air which we are breathing. Nobody can stop breathing, and you have to breathe in your atmosphere, which is highly polluted, which is highly polluted, which is highly polluted. Not only our air, everything around us is polluted. Water is polluted, our land is polluted. Lot of waste we are creating, which is creating solid waste pollution. We have started Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in 2014 to fight this problem. We are putting 60,000 crore per year, but still we are drowning in our garbage. The amount of garbage which is being produced is so much that we have a big problem of disposing that garbage, and pollutants come out from that garbage either by burning, it goes into the atmosphere, or by water which is leaching through this garbage is going into the water, and the surrounding is also degraded by presence of garbage. So this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, though it has been started, but it has not given any result. Why? Because the general public is not serious about the problem. Government cannot do each and everything. It is the responsibility of individual persons who should check their garbage output, who should put their garbage output. The other problems is open defecation, which we had almost 48% in India, as compared to other countries, smaller countries, even Bangladesh. See the percentage. We have lot of malnutrition in our children, especially the rural children. In rural areas, we have fewer toilets, and that lead to more diseases. We need more toilets as much we need food. The problem of malnutrition level will increase if we have more open defecation. See, the Orissa is highest. See, the Sikkim has lowest. Lack of sanitation is costing India almost rupees 6,000 per year per person. We are spending 260 times more on food than sanitation. So this is another big issue. The disposal of waste. We are creating hills and mountains of landfill sites. We had Bhalsara landfill site in Delhi, Okhla landfill sites in Delhi, Ghazipur landfill sites in Delhi. This Ghazipur landfill sites was once collapsed, just like a landslide, killed 2 or 3 persons. Then the Ghazipur landfill site was closed. The government could not find any other place to dispose of its solid waste. So ultimately, again, they have come back to Ghazipur landfill sites for disposal of waste. So the big problem is how to reduce waste and how to dispose it. Reduction is the most important thing. How can we reduce waste? Conserving and managing resources and waste should be national priorities, as in Sweden. See this picture from 2000 to 2015. From 2000 to 2015, the amount of garbage generated has increased by 2075% in Delhi. Just imagine, not 100%, 200%, 500%, 1000%, but 2075%. Same case is with the Bangalore and then Hyderabad. Why do we have this much high waste generation in Delhi and Bangalore and very low waste generation in Kolkata? only 8.3%. Is it something to do with the online purchasing? When we purchase online, we actually buy a lot of waste also. Disease caused by Meerut waste ground claims 22 lives. Move to dump neighboring cities trash invites public ire. Should Meerut suffer to keep Ghaziabad clean? What we are doing, we are not finding place in Ghaziabad and Delhi to dispose of our solid waste. We are taking it to some other cities and putting it there. And that is creating problem in that area. Are we a filthy nation? Are we a filthy nation? जूही चावला ने उठाया काठमांडू में प्रदूषण का मुद्दा. She could not raise that mudda in India, but she went to Kathmandu to raise that pollution in Kathmandu. Not in our own home, but someone else's home. This is a cover story from Today magazine in 1993, and this cover story says, "Can we clean the mess?" And then again they had to do, after 21 years, again they had a cover story, "Dirty Nation." That means we are not able to clean the country in 17 years, and from 2014 to 2024, 10 years, still we are in the same position. We are in the same position. Okay? See the Taj Mahal, the wonder, beauty, but see the background, the trash. So this is our issue. The pollution is the big issue. The pollution is the big issue. And what we are doing nowadays, we are just putting digital boards at our chaurahas, at our crossroad, to tell us that what is the level of pollution. What is the level of pollution? Knowing the level of pollution, is it going to help? No, because nobody is caring. So what we are doing, we are producing machines which can check the pollution at your household level, at your house, at your home level, air purifiers. And even some districts, some big cities have big air purifiers at the crossroads. Air purified towers were installed in Chandigarh, in Ahmedabad, in Delhi, at many places. So actually we are trying to make money out of this also. We are trying to make money out of pollution also. First create doom and then make boom. Now why we have lot of waste generation? Because of our materialistic society. Because of our materialistic society. Dennis the Minas is saying to her mother, "Looks like you need more feet, not more shoes." Previously, we used to have only 1 or 2 pair of shoes. Nowadays, we used to have 5 to 6 pair of shoes. So this is the problem. We are the garbage creators, and then we throw the garbage. Garbage should not be thrown. It is a collector's item. It is a collector's item. When we throw garbage, ultimately we pollute our water. And if we pollute our water, the whole water cycle will get contaminated with time, and the real clean water will not be available, which is already very short. That is only 2.5% of all the waters we have, which can be called as fresh water. And out of these 2.5, only 30% is groundwater. Rest is frozen ice, and remaining less than 1%, they are in lake and rivers. And lake and rivers, they are already polluted. We cannot take that water for use. We have to rely on groundwater, but with time we are polluting our groundwater also. Not only polluting, we are wasting our water. We are wasting our water through irrigation by ponding method. You just open the tube well and fill the field and you irrigate your field. We have to rely on this kind of irrigation techniques, which is called as sprinkling irrigation, which is called as sprinkling irrigation or fountain irrigation. So that is we have to do in our colleges and in our universities. We maintain our lawns, we maintain our plants, we maintain our trees, and that need lot of water. That need lot of water. So we have to be very judicious in using that water. Nowadays, it has become a fashion to use bottled water. 1 liter bottled water, 1 liter bottled water, in production of 1 liter bottled water, we waste at least 3 to 4 liter water. What is happening to that water? We are wasting that water through the what you call drain out. We have to conserve water. We have to treat water. We have to clean water so that at least we can use it for irrigation. This is our university's water treatment plant, which is using no electricity. It is based on natural process of treating water, and you can see the two waters which we have in the hand of this gentleman, which has been treated by biological process. We use lot of water, waste water, in washing the dishes, in washing utensils in our houses. We use lot of water which is getting wasted through washing machines. We don't know how much water is coming and how much water is going through washing machines. So we have to think. This is the RO system in which we have drain out pipe and the water which gets purified and goes into RO. This drain out water is not bad water. It only has slightly higher TDS. We can use it for washing, we can use it for flushing, we can use it for irrigation. So do not waste water, especially from ROs. In our universities, in our colleges, we have RO system in our offices, and the waste drain pipe is kept in drain and the water continuously drains out. We have to collect it. We have to collect this water and use for irrigation. Due to pollution, due to the degradation of the land, we are also losing biodiversity. Biodiversity maintenance is a very important aspect of life, because biodiversity actually is a part and parcel of our ecological system. Each life system is linked with some other life system. If we lose some life from the nature, then our ecological imbalance will be created. We cut forest to make our infrastructure, we cut forest for mining, we cut forest for making houses, we cut forest for getting wood. So all these are also affecting the life which is thriving in these forests. And the life is getting extinct with time. The life is getting extinct with time. Every few years, some of the life is getting extinct because of ecological imbalances. So what could be the solutions? What could be the solution? From where will the solution come? Still we are doing international conferences, SCOPs and ICCPs, but no solution yet. From where this solution will come? Lot of dates have been earmarked. Lot of dates have been earmarked to observe days which are for reminding us the importance of environment, for importance of forest, importance of water, importance of biodiversity, importance of nature, importance of population reduction, importance of disaster reduction, importance of food, fish, conservation, etc., etc. But these days are observed only on the D-Day. It is observed only on the D-Day, not all the days. We have to observe these things for all the days, silently, not by putting what you call noise. Every one of us and every student of us, we should transfer this information to our students to observe the things all through the year, all through the months, all through the days. The problem is predicting the weather to tame it. We think that we are very smart. We will predict the weather and we will tame it. The cloud is saying, one cloud is saying to other that in this days of global warming, even we don't know that where and when we have to fall as rain. How can the meteorologist know? Meteorologists are paid for their guesswork. Meteorologists are paid for their guesswork. Individuals have come out to highlight the problems. Greta Thunberg from Sweden, a student of class 8, 9, some 5 years back, she started campaign in Sweden and she started a strike on every Friday that the government should work to keep our environment safe and clean, because the future is of young people today. And if they don't leave clean environment, clean weather, clean climate, then the future of today's children will be marred. So lot of strikes by school boys all over the world, including in India. Then there are many others who do the things in different way. Even there are people who are fighting directly with the government. For example, Greenpeace organization fights the different governments. There are climate activists who use drones to shut airport. Why they wanted to shut airport? Because the air travel creates maximum amount of pollution. Man walks 700 kilometers backward to highlight the problem of deforestation. US liar David Buckle, he was campaigning that we should curb the use of fossil fuel. We should curb the use of fossil fuel because this use of fossil fuel is going to burn the earth. And to prove that, what he has done, he has put oil onto himself, he put petrol onto himself, and he lit the matchstick to himself. That you see, as I am burning, the world will also burn out. And he died. In that event, he died. So he died for just to show that how the world is going to come to an end because of use of fossil fuel and global warming. There is a company which is making garments. The head of that company has pledged all his profit to the environmental cause. In India, IIT professor wants everyone, even Prime Minister Modi, to wear wrinkled clothes. He is saying that don't iron your clothes to save electricity. CSIR scientists have pledged that on every Monday we will come wearing unironed clothes. There was a news today. RBI जलवायु परिवर्तन से निपटने को नियामक बनाएगा. It will make an organization how to fight climate change. What is my take as far as clothing is concerned? That if you can wear a cloth for one day, try to wear for 2 days. Another big thing which has come, I will take 5 to 6 minutes more to complete this talk. Another big way to fight climate change and global warming is to curb electricity production by coal and to go for electricity production by solar panels. So everywhere you see nowadays solar panels. This is a solar panel which is in our university. We have a very big solar farm, land-mounted solar farm, which is biggest in any university in India. And apart from this land-mounted solar farm, almost on all our buildings, we have solar panels. So solar panels, they have been touted as a panacea for checking the global warming by reducing the consumption of coal for generating electricity. See, this is graveyard of cycles. This is a graveyard of cycles which was created in 2019 when laborers from Punjab, Haryana and Western UP, they fled their places. They had to move their places to go to their home. They came by cycle to Saharanpur in UP, and from there, the trains were arranged by government for their home destination. So they have left lakhs of cycle at this place, and all these cycles are now rotten. So actually, we have forgotten the cycling. We are happy to use motorcycle, scooters, and cars. Even myself are using vehicle and burning fossil fuel. We have forgotten the use of cycle. Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, has 6 lakh population and 6 lakh 50,000 cycles. So anybody can go to any place without bothering whose cycle they are using. So this is the way we can check the pollution from the vehicles. We have to save trees. Saving trees, we have to save paper. To save paper, we have to check on homework. Let's not give lot of homework to the students so that we can save paper. We have to reform the city, not FORM, but FARM. We have to put lot of vegetation in our cities, in our houses. Stop pollution. How can we stop pollution? Not by writing papers on research papers and papers on recycling, not writing paper on conservation and wasting lot of paper. This is the picture of IPL tournament which has just completed. Can you see the 2 dots? Can anybody tell me what are these 2 dots? Quickly, can anybody tell me what are the 2 dots? What are these 2 green dots? These are the dot balls, the balls onto which no run was scored. So in this time, IPL has said that they will plant 500 trees for 1 dot ball. They will plant 500 trees for 1 dot ball. They have pledged. I don't know, will they be doing it or not? So everything is linked. May it be climate change, may it be biodiversity, may it be diseases, may it be economy. Everything is interlinked. But we have to think that how to make the world livable, or how to keep this world livable for our future generation. For our future generation. Global warming, local laparwahi, global warming. Local laparwahi, global warming. This year, for the first time in our city of Aligarh, the municipal corporation has put green sheets over the crossroads. If you can see, the green sheets over the crossroads, just to create a little of shade, because the temperatures were above 43 degrees centigrade. So they have put these green sheets. So the issue is that what will happen if we don't check these things? Are we going towards loss of humanity and other life? Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan has said, the human being is nothing more than the latest of a long series of living creatures. Even if evolution of life does not proceed higher than the human species, science threatens us with the possibility of its extinction. Are we going to create our own extinction? Naturally, 5 extinctions have already taken place in the world. 5 times the life have been vanished from the earth, up to 75 to 80% or 96% in one case. Life has been lost from the planet because of extinctions, and these extinctions were caused by some natural process. These extinctions were caused by some natural process. But today we are heading towards 6th extinction. Lot of lives are getting extinct. Elizabeth Colbert has written this book, Sixth Extinction. I have got a research project this year of rupees 40 lakhs to work on Permo-Triassic mass extinction from Tethys Himalayas. Now books have been published that in this time of global warming, how to survive. How to survive in this time of global warming. And then there are also books that how to solve this problem. How can we check this global warming? How to cool the planet? How to cool the planet? So they are geoengineering. They call it geoengineering to cool the planet. Nowadays, we are talking of everything in terms of climate change. Dennis the Mina's mother is asking, how do you explain your bad behavior? The Dennis is answering as climate change. The Dennis is answering that climate change is last few slides. Can anybody tell me what is this? What this painting wants to tell? Just speak, anyone, what this painting wants to tell. You can write your comments in the message box.
The picture of lungs.
Lungs, yes. So what they want to say? That grow more trees to keep your lung functioning, isn't it? Rajiv Kumar.
Yes, yes, sir. Right, sir.
Okay, this picture, this painting I have photographed at Fortis, where my brother was admitted because of some lung disease. And then in the same Fortis, they have put plastic plants. They have put plastic plants in a beautiful container, brass container. You can see. Is it sensitive? Does this make any sense? That we are putting plastic plants, and even someone are watering also to that plastic plant. So we are living in the world of paradox. This is the house of Commissioner of Aligarh, and there is a slogan, Green Aligarh, Clean Aligarh. Green Aligarh, Clean Aligarh. And he has draped his wall with plastic grass. The commissioner who is overseeing the smart city project has put the plastic grass over the boundary wall of his house and is putting a slogan, Green Aligarh, Clean Aligarh. Why to blame that the commissioner in our university itself, in almost all the universities what I have seen, that we prune the trees. Can anybody identify which tree it is? Can anybody identify which tree it is?
Palm trees.
Ashoka tree. This is Ashoka tree, which used to be very big and huge. But what we have done with this tree? What we have done? In 2020, they have pruned it. In 2022, 2 of the trees have died. And in our university, we have lot of such trees which are unnecessarily pruned. Unnecessarily pruned. See this tree, which is a soft teak. It is very close to the pedestrian path. Whoever is moving is snatching a leaf. Whoever is moving is snatching a leaf. But in COVID times, when it was locked down, nobody was allowed to move. The same tree has regained. The same tree has regained with tender leaf. The footpath was taken over. This is a footpath leading to my engineering college. It has been taken over by the vegetation. So if we allow the nature will come back and will help us out. But it is we who have to allow the nature. One of our alumnus who was an IS officer, he was ex-Secretary Ministry of Environment, MD of Coal India Limited. He made Coal India Limited as a profitable organization. He once came to Aligarh, gave a lecture on environmental issues, and he told us that there is a proverb, Jaan hai to jahan hai. If we are alive, then for us there is a world. If we are not alive, then there will be no world. So he said that we need to change this concept as a jahan hai to jaan hai. If we have a livable earth, then we can live. So we have lot of responsibility. We have lot of responsibility. घर के गुलदानों में, in flower pots in our house, there will be flower of papers and plastic, and the butterflies will be printed on our curtains only. घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे कागजी और पर्दों पे प्रिंटेड तितलियां रह जाएंगी. That's all from my side. The last slide, the left side picture is of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, the founder of this university. In 1881, a cartoon was published depicting him with snakes and cactus plants because he was very fond of the wildlife. So people have joked about him. They called him Naturey Jogi. So the founder in 1887 died and 1817 he born. He thought of climate at that time. Just imagine. That's all from my side. If you have any question or comments, you can put it in the message box.
Thank you very much, sir, for your this informative lecture and deliberations. Participants, if you have any question, you can ask. If you have any your observations, you can ask with sir. I think, sir, you have not left any scope to ask any question because each and every aspect of climate change you have covered, whether it is from geology, geography, and civil engineering. So each and every aspect you have covered, sir.
Okay, thank you. If anyone wants to comment, he can or she can write in the message box. Thank you. So let's close then.
Ji, sir.
Thank you, Aftab sir.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Participants, we will join tomorrow on the same time for our 4-day first lecture at 3:30. Thank you very much, participant. You may leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.